No garsing.
I'm working on it, Josh. Thank you.
Hey, Tommy said, good morning. I'm just not seeing this question. He said, which would you rather have, $2 million cash or $4,000 a week for life?
I'd say $2 million cash.
That's what I say.
I'd say 4,000 a week.
In rubber bands, and I'd take it in hundreds, Tommy Davidson.
4,000 a week.
Hello, and welcome to Saturday's Sales Training. We are your host. I'm Hayden McKee.
I'm Joshua Harrell.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us. If you're on here, just give us a like, comment, and share, please. We would greatly appreciate it. We might say something that'll change your life or change somebody else's life. You just never know.
Who knows? Thanks for getting on, everybody. This morning, we got something good for you. It's not your normal morning grind or real estate 101. We got some sales training for everybody. So today's topic, what we're going to be talking about is how we feel like training correlates to being out in the field.
And I'll just start this off by asking you, what are you doing here on a Saturday, Josh?
It's one word: commitment.
Commitment.
We committed to coming here on Saturday a while back. It's been like a year and a half almost, and almost every single Saturday, give or take a few. But we've been here on Saturdays. We're in here hustling, grinding, getting better at what we do. If you're not doing it, you should be.
How does that, and that'll lead us in.
Travis is on here, Hayden.
T-Raw, good to see you, buddy. Hey, if anybody needs any concrete, if you need a sidewalk, if you need some nice concrete around your pool, hit up my boy Travis. He'll take good care of you. Mm-hmm. Won't you, Travis?
So what do you think? Let me ask you, Hayden, what do you think? One thing just mainly that we do every single day, what do you feel like?
I can't hear you. Get a little closer there.
Can you hear me now? Turn it up a little bit.
Put your hands.
So what do you feel like we do every single day, Hayden, that makes us better out in the field?
First thing that come to mind, Josh, is we train.
What do we train?
Well, one piece of training that we do is Cardone.
Mm-hmm.
We do 4 segments of Cardone a day. And that keeps us sharp. I mean, there's so many different Cardone U has so many different things that he teaches on there. He teaches finances, he teaches sales, he teaches confidence, he teaches the way you should think. I mean, what else he teaches?
I mean, he teaches a lot.
Everything.
How to close, how to follow up, stuff like that.
Mental.
If you don't know who Grant Cardone is, Cardone University. Cardone is he's a sales guru pretty much. At the end of the day, he's been at the bottom of the barrel when it comes to selling, and now he's at the very top of the totem pole whenever it comes to selling. So he
started with nothing. Now he's worth about $600 or $700 million.
Yeah, he's got a lot of money to his name. So
and it was all
check
through
him out.
sales.
If you don't know who it is, definitely check him out.
But besides that, Josh,
Eddie,
what's something else
thanks for
that
getting
we
on
do?
here, man. Appreciate
What's some
it.
other training that we do, Josh?
So along with Cardone, we get in here every morning and we role play. Now, whenever we role play, some people could say, "Oh, role play, you just kind of sit there and go through scenarios with people." No, we don't do that. We get in front of each other face to face.
How close do we get, Josh?
Probably about this close.
Any closer?
No.
Oh, okay. But we do try to make it uncomfortable.
We get very uncomfortable because you got to get used to putting yourself in uncomfortable situations whenever it comes to selling. So we do that kind of role play. We go through scenarios. We, phone call scenarios, in-person scenarios, hell, agent scenarios whenever we're talking with other agents. So we role play every really scenario there is to know. So
and then
that's another thing that we do.
Something else that we do is we come in here on Saturdays and we do a mastermind longer on Saturdays when we come in here before we get on the show than we do every other day throughout the week. But every day throughout the week we have about a 15 to 20 to 30 minute mastermind with Tommy where we're just talking about different scenarios, situations, maybe different techniques to use. We always are open to trying new things, and so we always are staying sharp in that fashion too. So
right.
But it takes us into our topic, Josh.
Wendy, good morning.
Why do we do all this training? How does it help us? Does it even matter?
It matters, man. It's probably one of the biggest things that you can do if you're in the sales career. So number one that we think or we know that it helps us with is staying sharp. Staying sharp pretty much meaning whenever you're with people, knowing what to say, knowing how to say it, having some sort of reflection about you that prove that you know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And when you're with people, how does it help you? Maybe when you're in a time when you're in front of somebody and you might lose where you're at with them.
Man,
the pressure might be on.
Yeah,
You might not know what to say.
I know what
How does
you're
this
saying.
training kick in?
Well, so whenever you train enough, you hit the small things, you're doing what you say you do, you have this little bit of confidence too. And whenever somebody says something that you don't know and you have the confidence to overcome saying, hey man, I do not know that, how important is that to you? You have that confidence that overpowers your uncertainty. So I feel like that is definitely something that helps us a lot, is having a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
Gives you a roadmap too.
Yep.
That's right.
How to get back on track.
Yeah. And something else we were talking about this morning is Drew had said this. Michael Jordan said, practice was his games. When he was in practice, that's when he would go the hardest. That's when he would put the most effort into it, because he said when the games came, it was just natural. It was just,
Right.
He just went out there and felt it.
Right. David
so-
Dutton, what's going on, man? Thanks for getting on here. Please do me a favor, like and share it, if you will.
David Dutton, we need you in here on Saturday.
we
One
need to
Saturday, we
learn
need you to come in. Any
need to learn some
Saturday at
things
9
from the
o'clock,
man.
David. We want to see you again.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
Michael Jordan saying that, his practices were his games. Treating, and that's what we try to do in here with our role playing and with our training, is we try to put ourselves in game-like situations, and then translating it into real estate, putting us in live scenarios when we're in front of people. And it can be uncomfortable when you haven't met somebody, you don't know them that well. You want them to like you. You're trying to win them over. You want to be likable, but at the same time, they got to know you're serious. They got to be able to believe in you, and you got to provide a lot of certainty to be able to do that.
And that goes back to whenever I was saying earlier, we put ourselves in very uncomfortable. We're in a very comfortable environment whenever we're not or whenever we're just sitting around here talking. But whenever we get uncomfortable is whenever we get up in each other's faces. We're putting in hard questions in there. We're saying, stuff, normal role players, I guess you would say, wouldn't say. So
Yeah, but I think and when all the training that we do, when it does come time to get in front of people, it is. I think Noah had said today, it's like second nature, and I think treating the practices like the games. Once you get in that game situation, it just comes natural.
Yeah.
There's definitely going to be times where you're going to feel the pressure. Might not know what to say, or you might have to say some uncomfortable things that might make you uncomfortable. But you practice them so much
It's
that,
funny you said
that it
that,
just happens.
because
It just comes out, flows out. It just spews out of you.
every time I hear an objection, I'm always thinking, agree, assure, transcend, because that's
Yeah.
pretty much what we do. And so whenever Zena will get on to me, my girlfriend, she'll give me an objection, I do the same thing, just agree, assure, transcend.
Yeah.
She's caught on to it by now, but
Hey, it just makes you get more creative.
it does. It makes you get a lot more creative. So, you saying creative, that's our next thing going into training every single day. It really helps you out with your creativity. And at the end of the day, I feel like to have a lot of money, you got to have a lot of creativity. Would you agree?
I'd agree, Josh. I would say I'd agree.
How does that help though? How does creativity help you in the process?
Because not every situation is the same. You're never going to have, the same situation reoccur every single time. And so you're going to have to find out creative ways to handle different situations.
And I think, you also got to be creative in finding solutions for people, finding solutions to people's problems to help them out. I think that you always have to be able to pivot maybe when something doesn't work, and maybe be creative. And especially in the market now, you got to be very creative in finding deals and helping somebody get into a house right now, whether it's writing up a contract, finding a house, a location, a new listing, new construction. We have a
John
question.
Wesley, thanks for getting on, man.
Hey, John Wesley. Hey, man. Heard you got hit by a ball yesterday playing golf, man. I hope you're okay. State your name and your question, please.
I'm Marima.
Hello, Larima.
So without giving away your secrets, what are some ways that you have been creative?
Oh, whoa. We don't have any secrets.
Oh, okay.
We're an open
Well,
book.
tell it all. What
What's
are
your
some
question?
what are some ways that you felt like you've been creative with as far as real estate and being an agent?
So, like he was saying, in the market that we're in right now, it's extremely tough. So we're not having to just sell people looking to buy houses. We're having to sell the listing agents, the agents who are selling the houses. So they have geez, probably 30 on average. What would you say, like 15 to 20
15
offers?
to 30 offers.
I mean,
for
there's
sure.
just a ridiculous amount of offers on each house. So you got to stand out to the listing agent in order to get her attention and win the house, win your offer. So one thing, I think was it you, Drew, who did this? They put in the offer, extra like $500 to the seller's choice of charity.
Yep.
Was that you? Man, that's creative. And I feel like that's just one example of what creativity, how we can be creative as real estate agents to,
Don't be giving away my secrets.
be successful. Hey, we don't have any secrets, man. We're an open book.
But I think another one, just even on the phones, when you're overcoming objections, cold calling, being creative when somebody's like, I don't have time. Man, I understand, but just give me 30 seconds. Come on. If I was your mama, would you have time to talk to me?
Yeah.
Saying something just off the wall,
Right.
But people, saying something funny like that and being super creative and catching somebody off guard, it's crazy when you can be creative like that. I know when I've been able to do that, it just wins people over. It catches them off guard, and I don't know. I think people believe in creativity as much as they do certainty.
John Wesley called old Drew a limpy. But yeah, what's another? We're just gonna roll off some ideas here. What are some other ideas from the crowd of how you can be creative?
Noah, Drew, when's
What do
the
you
time
guys
that you've had to be creative in your real estate profession and your career? Can you think of any times there, Noah, you've had to be creative?
Absolutely.
And how your role playing or training's kicked in and helped that?
Absolutely. Something that's is getting more and more common in the market that we're in is people selling their home and not having anywhere to go.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have a buyer and you have a house that they really, really want, something that might make your offer a little stronger is putting a temporary occupancy agreement
That's right.
and letting them stay in the house past closing, whether that be 3, 4 weeks or 2 months.
Yeah, that's what we
That
had to do.
makes your offer a lot stronger.
That's what we had. We had to do that with Clarksville deal.
DT.
Yeah, they. She put the house on the market, and it was a very lower house, so a lot of attention. And so, what's one thing your people's got to have? And she said, they got to stay a little longer. They haven't found a house yet. So yeah, 2 months occupancy agreement. There you go. Want it?
Make it happen. Drew, man, as creative as you are, man, what's the time that you've had to be creative in this business?
Like I said, I don't want to give away my secrets, but I call the listing agent, see what they like, see what they need first off. But I buy people bottles of bourbon, bottles of wine, cigars,
Steaks.
steak dinners, pay their commission in Bitcoin.
No kidding. That's awesome.
I offered to do it for somebody one time, but
That's funny.
Do
As
you-
a listing agent who has a lot of listings, what is something that you would say would get your attention?
cash.
Other than that, something outside of the box. What if,
Like
Easy.
if I have 2 offers that are close, and of course I'm gonna do everything I can to get my seller to make the most possible. If I got 2 that are close, I'm not a gift guy anyway, so I'd rather you be someone who is on the up and up and urgent to get a deal done.
right.
Just gonna bring me some, but if you want to bring me some, bring me a bottle of bourbon. I like bourbon.
There you go.
Hey, Blanton's Gold is what Drew likes, if you're wondering.
Wendy Sween, being a winner on multiple offer bidding war, use an escalation clause.
No, explain an escalation clause.
So-
how that might benefit your buyers.
I hate escalation clauses.
So an escalation clause to the people watching is say that you have a $300,000 house listed and you want to offer, I guess, $320, but you have an escalation clause that's going to go up $1,000 from the next highest bid behind yours, up to $320,000. So if you offer $320,000 escalation clause going up to whatever, somebody else comes in and offers $315,000. That means your offer will be $316,000. Does that make sense?
Kind of. So you're just paying. You're agreeing to pay more than their best offer.
Pretty much.
So usually, every escalation clause I get is, say we're listed at 320, they're gonna come in at 320, paying $1,000 over the next best offer up to 350.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not a big fan of. You might as well pull out and show your big guns right off.
What would you say? Just go ahead and offer 350.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'd say in this market, you just got to come with it.
Yeah.
And as a listing agent, I see these escalation clauses, and very rarely does an escalation clause win.
Mhm.
Because whenever someone comes in and they just put it all out there, that's what I'm going with.
Right. Yeah.
Big cojones.
Escalation clauses, every agent I feel like uses them now. Besides the people who win offers.
Yeah.
People who are winning offers are just going out there. They're able to get their people to go up and
Mhm.
pay what needs to be paid. And
Yeah.
to win the offer.
And those are things that we train, trying to talk to people about having to go up, having to, a lot of offers that people are making right now are ridiculous. And I feel like the ridiculous, you're only going to get a ridiculous offer accepted right now.
Yeah.
And the escalation clause, even though it can be successful, do you feel like it's ridiculous enough right now in this market?
What do you mean?
Well, I said that, in this market to get an offer accepted, you got to do something ridiculous,
There's some escalation clauses that win, but usually, if I have nothing but, if I have one escalation clause that is really good, of course I'm gonna go with that one. But usually the hitters come out and hit,
Yeah.
So.
Hey,
so-
escalation clause is like a little foul ball here and there. Come in, hit,
I
and
mean,
swing.
sometimes,
Getting out of the park first swing.
That's the big thing. I have buyers ask me all the time, should we do an escalation clause? I always say no.
Well,
Don't Wendy
if
Wendy
anybody
sells
would know,
down
it'd be
there-
you.
Wendy sells down there in Florida, though, don't she?
Yeah.
She's dealing with people probably with a little more cash to play with.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I don't. Round here.
Round here, though.
Round here.
Round here.
Mhm.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
I know every time I got a listing, I get about 8 or 9 of them with escalation clauses.
It just
Yeah.
don't.
It's more than half. with
Yeah.
Escalation clauses.
But in all these situations, she said cash beats it.
Cash is king.
That's right.
Money talking, bullshit walk.
No more cussing, guys.
Sorry.
No cussing. But yeah, and these are all things that we train and role play. And when we do get in these situations, I know I can feel my training and my role playing. It's just, it makes it, like Noah said, it makes it second nature. It just makes it natural.
Yeah.
You
No,
know,
definitely.
Because real estate, you're always going to be put in high pressure situations, uncomfortable situations where you're going to have to be sharp, be quick, and also be certain about what you're saying. And
Right.
if you get stuck, if you don't know what to say, things could go bad. Your buyers or your sellers could lose certainty in you. The other agent, if you're putting in an offer, and you're not sharp, you're not saying the right things. It could be the difference in you getting your deal accepted and not accepted.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I think it just makes all the difference. Coming in here on Saturday, coming in here every single day, training, role playing. I think it makes all the difference in our success and in our progress.
Right.
Do you
I
have
agree.
anything to add, Josh?
Well, I want to go ahead and hit on that number 3 reason why we do all this stuff is for knowledge. Coming in here and talking about the escalation clauses, talking about different scenarios and stuff like that. Man, you get the most knowledge whenever you just talk through things, like different situations. Would you agree with that?
I would. Yeah, we're just getting better.
Yeah.
Um,
Knowledge is king. Knowledge is power, as Weatherman says.
just flooding ourselves with as much information as possible.
Xena!
Well,
Hey!
welcome back, Zena. We're so glad you made it back. Josh is finally himself again in the office.
Yes.
He's been working in the
Been a little
dark
Debbie
in the
Downer
bathroom
you were
since you've been gone.
Yeah, I'm in my office is in the bathroom whenever you were gone. So
And crying.
shut the door and turn the lights off.
Does anybody got anything? Any of this our standing room audience? Does anybody have anything else? Any questions?
You can improve your skills.
Yes, without a doubt, Noah. Yes, that's why we do it. Sharpen our skills.
Do you improve when you train?
Well, let me ask you this: whenever you go and play golf, do you feel like if you do the same golf swing over and over and over again, getting tips and pointers while you're doing it, you're gonna at one point gonna be
So is that
pretty
something
good
we
at
do?
swinging?
Do we challenge ourselves? Do we
Yeah.
find new objections to train on?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, that's what every time we come in here in the morning, we ask each other, what's something that you're going through right now that we can kind of hit on to help you out. What you say might be something that we haven't heard. You know what I mean?
So it's very important to constantly challenge yourself.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Without a doubt.
Van, You got anything? Any comments? Any questions?
I was going to ask you guys to share an example of when you could, something that happened to you guys recently where the training really kicked in and you thought, man, I'm glad we trained on that because that really helped me in that situation. I know Josh has got.
I can answer that. So what Van asked was, do we have a recent situation where training has kicked in and helped us succeed in what we're trying to do? So yes, one thing that Weatherman has been really hitting on me about is being more aggressive whenever I'm with people. And so, this past week I was showing a person a house and they were just kind of, kind of indecisive, didn't really, they've been through a lot. They don't want to go through, or they're kind of scared to buy a house. And so it got to a point where I was just in my mind thinking about Weatherman saying, you need to be more aggressive. And I finally bucked up, broke through my little insecurities and said, man, let's just go ahead and pull the trigger on this. And sure enough, he was like, all right, let's do it. So I feel like that's a good example of coming in here and training that, because we do train that, being aggressive and, having that little breakthrough and getting the deal.
Yeah, for sure.
When you say aggressive, what do you mean by that? I mean, some people would be turned off by what a quote-unquote
Pushy. Right, yeah. So, I mean, if you're too aggressive, it can definitely be a turnoff. But you got to ask questions leading up to that point where you're aggressive. So I was asking him questions like, hey, man, does this house check all the boxes? Is there any reason why you wouldn't like this house? Is there anything about this house that you don't like? And so they were like, no, I mean, this house actually does check all the boxes. So that really led up. It was a funnel into the close where I was like, okay, let's do it. Let's pull the trigger. Let's wrap this thing
I think
up.
it's all about perspective too, and knowing that you're providing a service to help people, and knowing that closing somebody is helping them get something they want. When, like Josh was saying, when you ask those questions to lead them into the funnel of the close, we're asking them to see what they want. And if
Right.
it is something they want, and if it is something that checks all the boxes, and they actually do want to do it. We find out if they really want to do it by the questions that we ask. And sometimes when it gets time to make that decision, people get scared. And people struggle. Everybody struggles with making decisions, whether it's going out to eat and finding what you want to eat on the menu, where you're at, or when you're shopping, you're trying to decide between a shirt or different things like that. So it's looking at it from that perspective is we're trying to help you get what you want. We know you like it. We know this is what you want. Now let's just go ahead and do it.
Yeah, man. let's
Don't
wrap
be
this thing
scared.
up.
Just go ahead and do it. And it's being aggressive and knowing that you're being aggressive to help them, not just to sell them.
Absolutely.
Because we ask questions to find out what they want.
Exactly. That's really what I feel like this game's about, is asking
Yep.
those right questions, figuring out what they want.
We don't try to sell anybody anything. We just try to get them exactly what they're looking for.
Exactly.
Try to help
right.
them get what they want.
Exactly right. Well, I feel
Great
like
question, Van Grafton.
Yes, thank
Great
you.
question.
Thank you, Van.
Thank you.
So we try to keep these Saturday sales training right at 20 minutes. I feel like we've reached that time. So guys,
I've got a mosquito bite so bad on my ankle here that it's caused a little lean in the show here, and I'm sorry that if
Yeah.
I've been all on your side, Josh.
don't bother me. It's all right. You're all good, man. No worries. Well, guys, if you're on, we really appreciate it. Please like and share the stream.
Thank you, Wendy.
Check us out. Tommy's going to be back on Monday. You get the man, the myth, the legend. Wendy, thank you.
We changed the locks on him. He ain't even gonna be able to get in.
Yeah. So, guys, tune in on Monday for the morning grind, 8:30. Be here, be there, or be square. Guys, thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your day.
See ya.